I think one of the early things I'm looking forward to is the coaching battle between John Morton and Kelvin Shepherd, the mixing and matching of, look, and to set the preface and to really understand, the first couple of practices are going to be not in pads. They're going to be, there's going to be competitive periods, but there's going to be some time where I think in the second week of camp is when the pads fully come on. But we will have a chance to start to see the young rookies get out there, and hopefully we get a chance to see more of TeSlaa and Tyleik Williams, because we didn't get a chance to see him that much in the spring. So I'm excited for seeing the rookies, the developmental players, and some camp battles that I think a lot of people are paying attention to. And I think for sure you are, just like myself. You're definitely going to be fascinated with the defensive ends and the defensive line. What are your early things that you're going to be definitely watching for and want me to report on at Detroit Lions training camp?
I think it starts and ends with these position battles we got going on, right? And I think that you'll start to really get a feel for where the Lions are at in their position battle on the offensive line when the pads come on. And when they start going fully padded and you can see these guys really work in one-on-ones and team settings, then you'll start to get a feel for, okay, is Graham Glasgow taking the lead at center? Is Tate Ratledge, if he's there, is he a guy who's stepping up and showing a firm control of everything that comes with playing center? I think right now you should be planning for the interior offensive line to be very young. You obviously Glasgow's a veteran, but if he gets the center job, you could start Mahogany at the left side and Ratledge at the right side. You got two guys with a combined 1 year of NFL experience as your starting two guards on the interior of an offensive line that has been the identity of the Lions for the past several seasons. You talk about Brad Holmes building this team through the trenches through the draft, and now you've got a couple of young guys going out there. And while they have a lot of belief in those guys, there's nothing that replicates getting out there in a game setting. And so training camp practices are going to be extremely pivotal for the interior offensive line. I think the defensive line is another one worth watching. Didn't get to see a ton of Tyleik Williams during the offseason program. He's another guy. When the pads come on, that's a player to watch. Amin Hassanin is a guy that I've talked about a lot on this podcast. He's a guy I really like the fit with him in Detroit. I think that he can be a guy that could surprise some people. How do Marcus Davenport, Josh Paschal, Al-Quadin Muhammad look? If those guys are good, then maybe you're feeling pretty good about that edge rotation opposite Aiden Hutchinson. If not, I think those calls for Za'Darius Smith are only going to get louder if the Lions don't bring him in right away. Obviously, there's been a ton of buzz there. He's made comments about wanting to be in Detroit. Brad Holmes has talked about staying in touch with him. That's a guy who that signing of him is always going to be looming in the background anytime something happens with the edge guys. And then at cornerback is another interesting position for me. Obviously, your two guys at the top, DJ Reed, Terrion Arnold, those are the two guys you want to go into the season starting. But what does Ennis Rakestraw give you? What does Avonte Maddox give you? What does Amik Robertson give you? Is he a guy who can bump outside like he did at the end of the year last year and did pretty well? So a lot of intriguing battles kind of on the fringes. You know, if you were to write a two-deep depth chart, you'd have a lot of those names set in stone. But on the fringes, like that backup, that number 2, number 3 type spot, there's a ton of battles like that going on this year in training camp.